Hello YouTube. Although I follow developments of the paranormal and enigmatic nature in the South Pole area, I also write down information about other strange aspects there. For example, in 2021, a group of German scientists discovered a unique ecosystem the size of a city at the bottom of the Weddell Sea off the coast of Antarctica. This was reported in the article published in the magazine Current Biology. The expedition of the research vessel Polar Stern focused on studying ocean currents, so the discovery was made accidentally using an underwater camera. We're talking about a spawning ground at the depth of 500 meters, numbering about 60 million individuals and occupying about 240 square kilometers. For comparison, the area of the Russian city Ryazan is 224 square kilometers. The diameter of the nests averaged 75 centimeters, and their depth was about 15 centimeters. According to scientists, there were about 1,735 eggs in each nest. Representatives of the population belong to the species of icy fish Iona, Neopagetopsis Iona, which have transparent skull and blood. To survive at low temperatures, this species produces anti-freeze protein, blocking the formation of ice crystals in the blood. Very interesting. Imagine what other species we will be finding in the icy waters of Antarctica. In my books and some videos, I describe discoveries of the Soviet and Russian Navy in the area. Very unusual UFOs and USOs. But here we're speaking about the animal world. And look, the nature of our planet is amazing. But we don't understand sometimes the conduct of its representatives on more than one occasion in the animal world. For example, we learned about this unusual development in 2017. Humpback whales are known for being the loners of the sea. While they tend to migrate, feed, and mate in groups, they spend much of their existence in solitude, or in small, short-lived groups of up to 7 individuals. But something could be brewing in our oceans, because scientists had reported by 2017 22 separate instances of humpback supergroups that defy explanation. Never before seen groups of 20 to 200 whales, all appearing off the southwest coast of South Africa in recent years. And that's the area I often talk about and really like to explore more. I've never seen anything like this, according to the lead researcher Ken Findlay from the Cape Peninsula University of Technology in South Africa. According to the study, 22 instances of humpback supergroups were witnesses on 3 research cruises in 2014 and 2015, as well as a handful of public observations from aircraft over the southwestern Cape region of South Africa. Researchers are calling the behavior novel and intense, saying it could be a sign of the mysterious resurgence of humpbacks in recent years. We propose that the supergroup feeding phenomenon, as tightly spaced large groups of whales, is a relatively recent behavior exhibited by these whales, according to Findlay and his team. No such dense feeding aggregations have been reported elsewhere in low or mid-latitude during southern hemisphere humpback whale migrations. Indeed, aggregations of whales of this size have seldom been reported in the literature, with large groups often numbering in the range to 10 to 20 or less. It's not just the size of these groups that's weird. The location doesn't make sense at all. By gathering near South Africa in summer, the humpbacks are choosing to bolster their numbers thousands of kilometers away from their usual feeding grounds in the southern polar region of Antarctica. And scientists are at a loss to explain the sudden change in behavior. During the summer month, southern hemisphere humpbacks tend to congregate in Antarctic waters and to feed on massive amounts of krill and fish each day in an effort to build up fat stores for the winter. Once they've had their fill, they migrate north to calving and nursery grounds in subtropical and tropical coastal waters for the winter. So why are their routines all messed up? The researchers aren't ready to explain the behavior just yet, as they still have a lot of evidence to collect. But they say the new feeding strategy could be due to changes in prey availability due to shifting conditions in the world's oceans, or it could simply be the result of increasing humpback numbers. And that's very good, because we don't hear a lot of news like that in our media. So, because we're so used to hearing about species in decline these days, but southern hemisphere humpbacks are actually bucking the trend, with Australia's humpback population reportedly at its healthiest levels since whaling ended along the coast in the 1960s. Findlay and his team suggest that this rapid increase could be the reason for changes in prey availability, forcing some to switch their feeding strategy and end up in South Africa. Well, it could also be that this behavior isn't actually new, because humpback whales were found feeding off the southwest Cape coast of South Africa once in 1914, before the whaling industry reduced their numbers by about 90%. Now their numbers are increasing. I wonder what it's like in 2021. And the whales could be returning to behavior established long ago. Perhaps a few have been doing it a whole time, but until they formed supergroups, no one had noticed. So it's something, in my opinion, something is going on in the oceans. As I looked at the conduct of the animals, and for example, recently in San Francisco, a number of whales, dead whales, washed up on the shores, an increasing number. So something is definitely taking place. But I also wanted to tell you about something very unusual. A creature very unusual in its appearance. And this was back in 2018, while conducting a video survey of the deep dark waters of Southern Ocean. Australian researchers captured a footage of the far out unconventional creatures that swim about near the sea floor. But the team was particularly surprised when a pink, blob-like animal fluttered into shot, propelled by a little pair of fins. It looked a little bit like a chicken just before you put it in the oven, according to the people in the team. There was the Australian Antarctic Division. The researchers had no idea what it was. Further inquiry revealed the identity of the strange animal. Aniphystasis examia, an elusive sea cucumber known as, less formally, the headless chicken monster, because of its resemblance to the chicken prepared to be roasted. The creature has been known to scientists since the late 19th century, but is almost never seen. This Aniphystasis examia has only been captured on video once before, when it was filmed in 2017 in the Gulf of Mexico, very far from the waters of the coast of East Antarctica, where the latest sighting occurred in 2018. The non-conformist sea cucumber captured in the footage filters through sediment on the ocean floor, feasting on organic material that it scoops up with a cluster of tentacles. Unusually for sea cucumbers, it has fins that allow it to scoot away from predators. But there's much more about this animal that scientists just don't know, including where it is distributed and how many individuals exist in the world's oceans. I mean, it's amazing for those who can and have the ability to explore our oceans and very interesting bodies of water. For example, the Sea of Okhotsk in Russia, that I told you quite a lot about, or Sea of Cortez in Mexico, that I visited before, and the strange animals that live there. So I thank you for your attention. Once in a while I will bring stories about unusual animals and animal conduct of our planet. If you can support my channel, please see the links in the description to this video. Please subscribe and tell others. Thank you.